What's up, my dudes? So let's talk about the potential for an official Monster Energy Supercross 2, aka 2019, but it's actually got the 2018 tracks on it that we already have in the custom tracks. Now this video makes no sense at all. Wow, dude. The potential for an official Monster Energy Supercross game 2. Yeah, I don't really know how they would do that. We already have all the tracks, all of those. Oh my god, it's like crazy now that I think about it like that. We already have all of the tracks that would be in a official Monster Energy Supercross 2 game in this game. Like, what the hell would they do? What would they... one thing that is kind of interesting when you think about it is the fact that, you know, they've got this MXGP Pro thing coming out. Well, are they going to integrate the Pro thing into like the next Supercross milestone game? You know, that's kind of how you got to think about it there. And obviously they realize their physics has got some problems in this game, you know, restrictive problems. They obviously realize that, or they would not have made an MXGP Pro. They wouldn't have done it. For all of you people that are just completely defending the physics of this game and you act like the air physics are the best thing ever, even the developers realize they're not the best thing ever. So you're defending nothing when you do that. Now the ground physics, I've always said the ground physics were pretty good in milestone games. That's one of the biggest things I've always said is the ground physics. They're a motocross gaming company, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of my big things that I was talking about before this game ever came out. Is the fact that they're going to have some trouble because by the way everything looks, man, they're a motocross company. They're more about those ground physics than they are the air physics, but you got to have better air physics when you're in having a Supercross only game right here. And by the way, I've been playing like 10 different motocross games within the past week. So yeah, it can be pretty bizarre going from that many games and then trying to figure out what the hell you're doing on this game and then going back to that game. So I apologize for not being able to hit everything right or looking like I'm some kind of Monster Energy Supercross video game pro or whatever. Like, dog, you got to understand the situation here. I don't play this game hardly at all. I play a bunch of different motocross games. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care to look good at this game. That doesn't mean anything to me. So, but what I'm saying though is, you know, they made a killing off of this game. You know, whichever way you want to look at it, it made a killing. Just, you know, whatever the hype title, whatever it may be, it made a killing. And so, I mean, them seeing that, you know they're going to be coming out with a Monster Energy Supercross 2 game or a Nationals game or some shit. They're going to keep this ball rolling, believe me. No smart company out there would just not make another one the next year. They just wouldn't do that, especially how Milestone's kind of going with that 2 games a year kind of thing. But, yeah, they're definitely going to go down that road for sure, without a doubt. But I just don't know exactly how they're going to do it. Don't really know if, like I'm saying, they're going to have those pro physics in there or whatever. But, and then talking about the track content itself, it'll be interesting to see how they do that. You know, if they'll go in there and like put in I don't know, a ton more editing options. Are we going to have a track editor in MXGP Pro? You know, the shit gets kind of crazy when you start thinking about all of it. But, because they got so many split different games going right now that, definitely makes it a bit confusing. You know, we're like going back to MXGP, but that's got pro physics. This game had a track editor. Like they need to pull all those puppies into one game, dude. That's what they need to do. Could you imagine MXGP, a AMA National game, and Supercross game with updated physics and a track editor with all of those different track editing options into this game right here? That would be the game, dude. But, yeah, Monster Energy Supercross, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying at the very, very beginning before this game came out. I mean, what are you going to do? Go in there and start putting in rider stats? Like, all you could really get for the next game is maybe game improvements, but as far as, like, track content, it's not... I mean, what are you going to do? Put all of the 18 tracks in the 19 game that we already have in this game? People's already made that in the track editor of this game. Like, do people really, really want that? I don't know. It's you know, in a certain side of my mind, it's almost like I don't even know how good a second official Monster Energy Supercross game would even be. It's almost like, I don't know. They're kind of in a weird little state now. It's they would almost have to make like a official Monster Energy Supercross game combined with the AMA National something and all of that in one game with all of the 2019 tracks in it with a track editor and you know, with the pro physics in it. You know, something's going to have to happen for people to actually want that over this game right here. You can't just like have the exact same tracks and then more physics system, better systems, and then expect, I mean, they can only do that so many times. You know what I mean? They can only just make like another game with better physics so many times. So, I mean, they're kind of doing that with the MXGP thing. You know, they had MXGP 1, MXGP 2, MXGP 3. Now we have MXGP Pro. All of them have the exact same tracks on them, basically. I mean, they do adjust them a little bit here and there, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It just, it's an interesting topic and idea. Definitely let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. I know a lot of you guys like to just randomly hate regardless of what I say about this game. You know, doesn't even matter. Any video that I make on this game, I'm going to get just absolutely blasted in the fucking comments, but it's the way it goes, dog. Look, man, if you think you're upsetting me with it, you're not. Like, I get that's how YouTube is. And this is just one of those games where people just defend it to the absolute bitter end. They defend it so much that even the actual game developers realize that, okay, the physics need to be improved. That's why they're making an entire game dedicated to better physics with MXGP Pro, and you motherfuckers are still out here defending this game as far as the physics side of it. Like, stop. Stop. There's obvious problems, man. There is. There just is. Just like we said from the get-go. Those are just obvious problems, dude. So, but, I mean, graphics are sick. You know, I don't know how many times I have to say this shit, but people still think I just hate every single aspect of this game. Graphics are the best in any motocross game ever, you know, up until this date, for sure. But for me personally, graphics is like one of the lowest things on the list that I look for in a motocross game. I mean, graphics are cool and all, but like the thing that keeps you playing that puppy is the physics, the gameplay, the skill gap. That's what keeps you actually playing it. It's not really the graphics. It's just not. You know, it'd almost be like having a game that has really good graphics, but the gameplay is not realistic. So what's the point of even having good graphics anyways? You know, it kind of gets into that kind of thought process there. But it looks like they're trying to improve with the MXGP Pro, so that is a good sign. They know what's up. You know, they're not idiots. Milestone, a lot of people think I have this, like, just hate against all Milestone games just because I hate Milestone, the development company, and shit like that. You know, they think I got this, like, super biased hate against them and shit. Oh, my God. People are just, they're so clueless, man. They just run with anything these days, you know. Doesn't matter what it is. But that's the nature of that online world, bro. If you're ever going to become a YouTuber, you got to get used to that shit. It's just, I've never experienced it quite. Even the MX versus ATV community is not like how the people were in this game. They're just not. I mean, they are somewhat in some occasions, but they weren't half a percentage of how crazy people were that were super positive about this game and, you know, tried to shut down anybody else saying anything negative whatsoever about the game. I've never seen anything like that in the motocross realm. But yeah, so, I mean, I figure there's going to be some rendition of something Milestone, Supercross, something developed in, you know, next year of some sort. Like I'm saying, I don't know how they're going to, what they're going to do with, like, track content, stuff like that. They may just, and like I'm saying, it's going to be hard. It's not like an NBA 2K style game. You can't, I mean, it's just, it's more variations of things that you're already doing. Like, you're not really putting stats on riders because you're not really even riding with the riders. You're mainly riding with your own rider that you make in the game. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But they could add 2 strokes, I guess, which should have been in there from the get-go. They could make the whoops a lot bigger. Could make, you know, the physics all the way around a lot better, especially in-air physics, movement in the air, all that kind of stuff can definitely be improved. And we will be getting a kind of sight into the future once we play the MXGP Pro game. Then we'll kind of get an idea. Surely to goodness they'll have those physics in the next Supercross rendition, whatever it is going to be next year. Surely to goodness they will have those sort of physics in there. So it's looking up, dude. I mean, it really is. Now that they got their head on straight with that, they're trying to really get in there and improve those physics, because they realize that's what actually keeps people playing your game is the physics. You know, and jump design and all that kind of stuff, in-air physics, whip physics, making those whips a little bit looser, making some difficulty to the tracks and skill gap and stuff like that, man. It's what it's all about. And dude, I played Reflex for 5 years straight, nearly every single day. I'm a pro in MX Simulator. I understand what skill gaps in motocross games are. Some of you fucking idiots out there just, oh, you're so stupid. You obviously have no idea who I am, or you would understand, like, I get it. I know what a skill gap is. I don't give a fuck about how I look on the official Monster Energy Supercross game, dude. I don't care. I don't care at all about looking good in this game. It means nothing to me. Nothing at all, because it's not going to mean anything in a half a year or when MXGP Pro comes out and everybody's playing that because it has a better physics system. No one's going to care about how good you were at this game. No one's going to give two flying fucks, dude. But I understand what a skill gap is in an arcade motocross game. Reflex was the absolute god of that, and still is. I mean, there's nothing that is even remotely close to Reflex. They're trying to get closer. All of them's trying to, you know, get closer to that Reflex feel, but they're having trouble finding that balance. Some aspects of MX vs. ATV All Out kind of went a little too far, right? It's just hard for these games to find it, because that's just how good Reflex was. It's hard for these games to find that feeling on the bike, you know, that true skill gap feeling without just totally making it a simulator. It's always been a bit of a task for them, but either way, man, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Hopefully the next rendition of Supercross, they will have fixed a lot of the, you know, lag problems, online problems, first-person couple of different issues of the game, and improve the physics, the jump design, all that kind of stuff. It's got potential to make another game like that, but it'd be nice to see, you know, more Supercross tracks, stock tracks in there that aren't the actual official Supercross series tracks. Just have more random biome tracks or something in there would be kind of cool to see, but yeah, man, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.